gonna get into this. So guys, like I said, for anyone who hasn't seen it, type !new Taj. It's also in the title of the video, or in the title of the stream. But this is a video called Fly. I decided to name it Fly just because of the name of the song and like the lyrics in the song, but also just because the gameplay is by 8-Bit Buggy, or as he wanted to be called, Buggy, which I think was kind of funny if some people put together, Fly and Buggy, Bugs, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but this is called Fly, and we're going to break it down. So first thing I'll say is I tried to keep it fairly simple with the text. Because of the song, it seemed pretty kind of mellow in the fact that I didn't need to do this elaborate 3D text tracking that I usually do. I feel like a good fade in, fade out with some good looking text would do the job. So I played around with the text a little bit to make it somewhat entertaining, but still kind of like fun, I guess. Like not super serious just because of the song. I wanted to make it colorful, wanted to make it kind of childish, I guess. But one thing that I feel like some people didn't notice was just this little mask right here. This is, if you guys know Halo 3 at all, this is I don't know parts of the maps, but Sword would spawn to the right over here. Rocket would, or Camo would probably be in the left main hallway. This is where that angle is taking place. Sword Bridge, yeah. But as you can see here, this is part of red side or blue side. I don't know. I don't really know. But it's a completely different place. This is a mask right here. So I was pretty happy with that because it looks normal, but I was pretty happy with that mask. But just have a little bit of glow. We have some blur in the background to kind of make the text pop out a little bit more. And then we've got the text for Fly. Again, he didn't really want it to call it like his, I think he said he'd made 7 or 8 montages, so he didn't want to call this his 8th montage, so I was like, why don't we name it Fly? So that's what we did. What's up, Flight? Now, I didn't go super heavy in the effects as far as like how elaborate they were. Like they were pretty standard, flashes, some glows here and there, which I think is all you really needed for the song. But when I did get a little more creative with the effects, one of them was right here. So if you listen to the song, it kind of has this really weird effect that I can't describe. I can play the song in a minute, but I thought it'd be cool to change some of the colors of the background. You can see it right here, and then I also added a bulge effect to kind of draw you into the Spartan, and then once that part of the song is over, it goes back out. But this is the audio that you can kind of hear. It's kind of a background sound to the song, but just listen. Let me turn it up just a little bit, actually. I like that weird like what sound, which I just thought kind of added to it. So yeah, I thought that was a cool little effect to add. But pretty standard syncing here, and a pretty standard angle here too. I tried to keep the pacing somewhat slow because that's kind of how I thought the song felt like a little bit, where it kind of had that slow but hopeful feeling maybe. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but one thing I'll say, and I'll get to this a little bit later in the video, not too much to talk about here, by the way. It's mainly just syncing and some angles, but one thing that I actually had some trouble with, and I don't blame Buggy at all for this because you gotta do what you gotta do, but he actually sent me the clips in a like video compilation format. So basically he said he didn't have enough room to put all the clips, or he didn't have enough room for all of his clips separately on his computer, so he put them all in one video and had that uploaded, which is fine. The only problem was that some clips cut off sooner than I would have liked. So I did have to work around that a little bit with some of the syncing, and I'll point out a specific one where it worked, but I did have a little bit of trouble with it. I will say, thankfully, he made up for it in the fact that it was 1080p, 60 FPS. That was very helpful, so I'm glad that was there. But pretty happy with this right here on the TAC DoubleXtor because I wanted to keep the transition simple, but I wanted it to have some kind of flavor to it. So you can kind of tell there's a little bit of cropping done right here. And what it actually does is the cropping goes a little bit to the right and then goes back to the left, which if you look right here, he is also turning left. And then in this clip, he's also turning left here. So with the cropping going from right to left and the movement going from right to left, you get this cool kind of effect where it has this cool transition. So I thought that was cool. I think I might have added a little whoosh sound effect there too, but I don't remember. But pretty simple effects in syncing here. Added a little bit of cropping and stuff. Added a nice little zoom transition, which you can do this using a blur. You can use RSMB, and then you gotta use a motion tile effect. It's fairly simple to do. Like for this, it's just zooming in with a blur, and then right here, it's pretty much the exact same thing, except this time you have the motion tile to make it feel like you're actually going back into the clip, if that makes any sense. But again, fairly standard syncing here. Got a nice little blur glow, and what that pretty much means is it was a blur effect where I changed the blending mode to it, and I changed it in a way that made the blur kind of look like a glow. So it kind of has this like outline, which you could probably do with just a normal glow, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. Again, this part is fairly simple on the syncing and the effects, but it does the job. It's this clip right here though. By the way, I really like, this is a very subtle blur glow, but I added one here and it actually added a lot to this. But anyway, that's not the point. What I wanted to say was, this was one of the clips I was talking about earlier. This right here, these are the last few frames of this clip before it moves to the next clip in that video compilation I was telling you about. So it worked out that it zooms, or I made it zoom in right into when he's zooming in next, or in the next clip. So it did work out. But that's one of the things I was like, that was a little bit of a challenge for some of these clips, is that I didn't have as much room to work around before and after. So add a page turn. Yo, what's up, Zodi? What's up, Felix? And Flash, Tommy, yo, thank you for the raid, brother. I hope you had a good stream. If you hit any clips, definitely link them to me. Anyway, who won Habel's Taj contest? The most recent one was won by Dutchy, I'm pretty sure. It was Dutchy and Brian. They won with the medley, I think. No. Yeah. Right? I think they were the ones who won. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I'll get back to you on that in a little bit. Just remind me, because I can probably find it. But anyway, continuing to talk about this. Again, fairly standard syncing. A few angles here and there. This is another point where I did get a little creative. So this is a nice, cool transition. I kind of, when I was thinking about it, the first thing I thought of was cotton candy. I don't know if you guys had this thought, but for cotton candy, whenever I think about it, it's usually pink or blue. So I kind of had that feeling. But what this is pretty much a cross dissolve, and then slapped on top to it is probably a colorama. I think that's what I added, and maybe a hue change too. I don't know. I might have done that within the colorama effect. But then I used a specific blending mode so it's not super overpowered. Like this is, if you have this as like a color correction, yeah, you've gone a little too far. But for this, I didn't want to like way overdo it, but enough so that the transition was cool. And then I also, as you can see right here, there was a little warping, turbulent displace as well to add to that a little bit too. An attack, timeout, and airs. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. New touch. Yeah, this is, for anyone who just showed up from Tommy's stream, or just anyone who just showed up, this is Fly, edited by me, featuring gameplay from 8-Bit Buggy, who's a fairly small YouTuber, but he's got some nice clips, so definitely go check out his video. I will be uploading this exact video to my own channel next Tuesday. So, not that it is a big deal. You guys can watch it on whatever channel you'd like, because it's on his channel right now, but I will be uploading it on my channel if you guys care. Anyway, continuing on, one of my favorite transitions is right here with the death of the Overstorm to the attack double. Aaron, how much money to put Loki horns on my Spartan? Bro, you are, I mean, for how long? Like, are you talking like the whole video? Because if it's the whole video, you don't have enough money. I can tell you that right now. If you're talking like one scene, I got you. But one thing I really liked about this was originally I thought I was just going to do a classic like speed up like to the next shot, but it was turning out really slow, and if I was speeding up it wasn't looking very natural. So what I actually ended up doing was doing a ease into the scale, so you can tell that yes, it goes up, but the scale also zooms in quite a bit all the way until right here where I actually zoomed it back out and then had it zoom in a little bit more so it felt more natural. And then I also added a little directional blur, I think, which made it seem a little smoother. But I was really happy with that actually. That was probably my favorite angles from the whole video. Now like 2 angles or something? I could maybe do that. I don't really have time to pick up projects right now because I already have a few. And there's the whole PC conversation, which I will talk about after I'm done with this. Anyway, one thing I liked about this sync is, sorry to expose you, Buggy, but you can actually tell right here, if you look right here, that he actually shot once before getting this overshot, but because of the spin, it actually worked, and where he shot, it actually worked out really well. So if you look, doesn't look like there's a cut, but there was actually a shot right there, so that was cool. And then I also did a little wipe transition, which worked out because it kind of looked like the wall went away right here, which was, I think, kind of cool. Really like the syncing there. And then this is probably the part that people probably liked the most. And what I actually liked the most was not even the angel part or the flying part, but it was actually how well this Twixtor turned out. I wanted it to kind of slow down. And even though there is a little bit of warping there, I thought it was really cool how he slowed down really, really slow right in the middle. I thought that was, I don't know why, I just really liked that. How he kind of just stops moving. I thought that was cool. But right here, this is what most people probably liked as far as the editing from this. It kind of reminds me of just a classic thing that I would do. A lot of colors, a lot of glows, and something kind of crazy as a transition. Doesn't mean it's good, but it's crazy. You know what I mean? But because the videos fly and the whole song is like learning to fly, I think that's what the actual song name is called, I decided to add some wings to it and made it kind of that cotton candy color, kind of like the rest of the video. Added a vertical glow in the background to kind of symbolize like going up. And then I was going to do a little more with the transition to the maps, but this is simply a fade. This is a cross dissolve. That's all it is. What I also did though was I ever so slightly changed the color of the Spartan, so you had a little bit of a green tint here, you can barely notice, and a little more of a reddish blue tint or purplish tint on this map. And then right here you can see he actually changed color to red, so I thought that was pretty cool too. Another thing I added, which you guys probably can't notice that well, and honestly if I were to do this again I'd probably change it, but if you look really closely, I did puppet him a little bit to give him a little bit of movement. So you can see if you look really closely, his legs do kind of come up a little bit to show that he is moving and a like living figure. He's not just a picture, but in all fairness, I should have had him move a little bit more. But what I did like was this was all manual. Like I didn't actually track him, but I did manage to kind of make him look like he was on the map now. It's not perfect. Like if you go frame by frame, you can tell like he kind of bounces a little bit. But when you play it in real time, it looks pretty good. And then we've got just a nice little frame by frame cut, which when I go frame by frame right now, it looks terrible, but when you actually watch it, it looks pretty good. And then again, some fairly simple cropping and glows, but I really liked these two angles right here and how they kind of, I don't know, I like the syncing and the movement of these angles. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it matched with the song pretty well because it had that like gritty guitar, maybe? I don't know what the instrument was. Yeah, I think for the most part, the rest of the video is fairly simple in its syncing and a few flashes and glows here and there, which I feel like is all this video needs and all the song needed. Plus, you guys know, I try to let the gameplay shine as much as I can for the most part and within reason. Sometimes, I'm not always good on that, but I wanted to end on that 2-for-1 because I thought that was the coolest clip in my opinion. And then I decided to take the exact same angle from earlier and do kind of the same text saying thanks for watching, and then it fades to black with a little bit of blur. And that is Fly, edited by me with gameplay by Buggy.